Over the years, our kids have had a lot of illnesses. 6 kids means a lot of childhood sniffles and coughs. And when our kids weren't feeling well, it affected our entire home. Luckily, some clever guys in Brisbane have come up with the perfect solution: Rehydrate.
Rehydrate are delicious drinks that rehydrate up to 3 times faster than water alone, packed with essential electrolytes. Rehydrate is one of the few rehydration products that is safe for all ages. Stock up at Coles and be prepared whenever illness strikes.
This is the Happy Families podcast with Dr. Justin Coulson. We're Luke and Susie, and this is the podcast for the time-poor parent who just wants answers now.
When you're at work all day long as a dad, it's difficult to know that you're missing out on big moments of your kid's life.
Yeah.
But with a modern trend of working mums and to have both parents sort of missing big moments of a kid's life, and you know, it's a significant battle that we go through. There's a bit of parental guilt that comes into play with missing stuff, isn't there?
Well, absolutely there is, but we need to figure out a way, when you're working full-time, how do you make sure you still prioritise that connection with your kids? To help us navigate this, from happyfamilies.com.au, it is Dr. Justin Coulson. How are you?
Hi, Susie. Hi, Luke. Great.
Yeah. Well,
now, you are a full-time, more than full-time working parent, I imagine, but a lot of stuff you do from home, yeah?
Oh, yeah, and look, I'm not going to. It's not which is harder, but let me tell you, it's really tough when you're working from home because your children might be 2 or 3 meters away and they want your attention. And, and sometimes you've got to say, you know what, the work's the priority right now. I've got this deadline, this person's paying me this money, I've got to do this stuff. Whether you're working from home, though, or working outside the home, our children want us in their lives and we want to be in their lives. And you're right, sometimes the guilt can be suffocating.
We know over recent times when I've been a little bit more available than I was for the first few years of our kids' life, when I've been there for significant moments, you could tell that really mattered to them that I was there, which then if I ever get put into a position where I can't be there, it's just increased my guilt being mostly available but not 100% available.
Oh, really?
Because previously I went, well, I've just got to work. No big, that's just life. And now when I see how valuable it is to our boys, oh my gosh, I feel bad if I have to miss it.
There's something about being there for those moments that make the children feel like they matter. There's a psychological construct or idea called mattering, and how much we matter matters. Kids need to feel like they're important in our lives, and one of the best ways that we can show them is to actually be there for them. Now, I know that's not doing anything to assuage that guilt. It probably makes it feel even worse, but this is where we need to be creative and come up with ways that we can really be there for them. I know one dad who said he sits down with his family and they look at the calendar and they work out the days that are going to matter at the start of the year, or as soon as the days become, they become aware of them. And he applies for leave because he's got his hands tied. He's got to do what the boss says. He applies for leave and they prioritise the ones that are going to matter the most. And the kids understand that within certain restrictions, Dad will be at what he can. He'll attend when he can. I know another family who are in a slightly different position. They're quite affluent. And they've worked themselves into a point where Dad absolutely commits to taking 1 to 2 weeks off every time there's a school holidays. He can't take off other times, but he takes off those school holidays so that they've got absolute quality time together.
It sounds like it's just as important for your kids to understand, even if you're not always there, you always want to be there, and you prove that in the times that you can.
That's pretty much it. It comes down to communication. If the children sense that it doesn't matter to us, then they won't feel loved. If they know how much we wish we could be there, but unfortunately circumstances just don't allow it, they're pretty forgiving.
We're still full-time parents in a full-time working world. More next as we discuss this topic with Dr. Justin Coulson. It's the Happy Families podcast.
Family life is pretty tough going sometimes. Most days are a struggle between strong-willed children and frazzled parents. And while no parent wakes up in the morning saying, today's the day I'm going to ruin everyone's lives, it sometimes feels like that by the end of the day. 21 Days to a Happier Family is the #1 parenting book by Dr. Justin Coulson for parents who want their kids to be better, themselves to be calmer, and their family to be happier. Now the book is also available as an online video course. In the program you'll find specific strategies to help you be at your best, evidence-based ideas to strengthen your relationship with your children, research-proven practices to improve understanding between you and your child. Discipline strategies that work because they're about discipline and not punishment. And more tips to make your family happier. And as a special offer only for podcast listeners, use the code PODCAST at checkout for a massive $50 saving. 21 Days to a Happier Family, the online video course by Dr. Justin Coulson. Get it now from happyfamilies.com.au.
It's the Happy Families podcast with Dr. Justin Coulson. And working as a full-time parent, it can sometimes be hard to really make proper focused time for our children. Probably harder for some than for others, Justin.
I gave a talk a little while ago. As you know, I travel around the country. I give talks in schools and corporations and organisations all over the place. And one of the nation's top law firms hired me to speak in their Sydney offices to about, 60 or 70 of their lawyers, and they all came in to have a chat. And, lawyers seem to work longer hours than most ordinary people. It's not uncommon for them to be doing sort of 16-hour days.
Yeah.
And here I am trying to talk to them about how to get that relationship right with your kids and how to, when you're busy, how to get some time in. And I said to them, how many minutes are in each of your billable units? They said 6. I said, okay, so can you find 2 billable units per day for your kids? And they kind of looked at me funny. I'm like, seriously, 12 minutes. Can you find a 6-minute space somewhere and another 6-minute space somewhere else, or just 12 minutes at some particular point in the day? And they also went, yeah, we probably could do that. And sometimes that's all we can do. Now, I don't think that that's enough in an ongoing way, but if that's all you can do some days, then just give them that 6 minutes or that 12 minutes. And if you're away, we've got this fantastic technology now called Skype or FaceTime. Just let them see your face. Let them know that you care. Give them a quick call. I had a chat with one girl. She was 13 years old. Her name was Ray. And she was a shambles. Her life was falling apart. But her parents were very well off. They just built a brand new house on Sydney's northern beaches, on the beach. They'd spent a huge amount of money. And I said, well, it must be exciting at least to be moving into this house. And she said, doesn't matter what the house is like if the people inside the house don't care about each other. She said, yeah. And then to top it off, she said she was living with her mum and her stepdad. She said, my dad hasn't called for about 6 weeks, even to say hi or ask how I'm doing. We've just got to take the time to nurture them, even if it's for a few minutes. Just reach out and touch them in one way or another. That's what makes kids resilient. That's what makes families happy.
Wow. Dr. Justin Coulson, 21 Days to a Happier Family, and there is one big step in just 12 minutes, I can tell you. Justin, thank you so much for your time.
Love talking to you guys.
For more info and all of Justin's books, podcasts and programs, you can jump online to happyfamilies.com.au and to find out how to have Justin speak at your school, or you can come along to your organisation as well. Go to justincoulson.com.